All right, guys, now we're going to be diving into hashtag research. And this is probably the most important of all the categories. And really mastering this is so key, especially for early account growth. I mean, really getting it off the ground. One story that Josue really likes to tell is we launched an account and we posted a video for the first post ever, right? We did our hashtag research. It took us, 8 or 10 hours probably. We really dove in deep on this one, right? And really figured out what it exactly was going to work, or what we thought was going to work based on our research. And we did that. We did our engagement groups. We put our hashtag research in there, and the first post ever got over 20,000 views on a single post. So you can see the power of hashtag research is huge. I mean, it's hugely influential. I launched an account just the other day actually, and the third post ever on it got over 100,000 views just because of proper hashtag research. So as you can see, this is very important, and we're going to be diving in today. So pay attention. This is one of the most important modules out there. It's so key.
It's crucial. But again, we're not sugarcoating this. It is extremely boring to do all this. Like, it takes work.
Right, it really does. You have to understand that. In this course, we're showing you guys the keys, the steps, the tools that we took. But we were dedicated to this. We were obsessed with it. I mean, this was what we did, and this is how we did it. So take the time. Block out a whole Saturday of your time, wake up and just sit down and do this research. Block out time when you can actually sit down and do the whole thing at once, because you don't want to break this up. You lose your train of thought. You want it all down on paper, on a spreadsheet, but all down at one time, and really understand what it is you're looking at. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to show you how we find the hashtags, how we determine which hashtags we're researching, and then how we spreadsheet it, and ultimately how we choose which hashtags are going to be most effective. Okay? So we're going to dive right in, and we'll start from there.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys, here we are. We're in front of Mr. High Class, and we're going to be using this account to research our hashtags today. We're going to be doing like a quote motivation luxury account list. I mean, that's the hashtag list that we're going to be building today. So we're going to dive right into that. Now remember, when we built out that whole competitor and influencer spreadsheet, right? We did all that. We laid that out. We're going to be going off of that. So when you sit down to do your hashtag research, make sure that you bring up that spreadsheet, and that's where we're going to start finding hashtags. So, for example, we're going to start with an account, and we're going to go to our search bar here, and we're going to type in, all right, what's an account that we think, we kind of want to build after? And I'm going to go maybe Success Diaries, okay? So you can see Success Diaries has 358,000 followers, and we're going to go to a picture, something that we think we might use, and click on it and see what hashtags he is using, okay? And so you can kind of see all of the list of his hashtags here, but the one we can see here is quote, right? So we're gonna click on quote, and it's gonna bring us to their hashtag page. Now, as you can see, there's related hashtags at the top, and then 9 top posts, and then right below that, it says most recent and gives you a number off to the right-hand side. All right, I'm going to bring that to the middle of the screen. You can see 37,668,000 posts. We want to definitely know that number, because when we're ultimately determining what hashtags we're going to use, we want to know how many other people are using it, because it's going to help us determine whether or not we're going to use it. So the first thing we're going to do on our spreadsheet is write down which hashtag it is. So in our case, it will be quote. The second thing we're going to write down is the amount of users using this hashtag. Now, I usually just round, so I could say 37 million on this one, or 37.5 million, just something like that. And it varies, guys. So some days it might be 32 million, some days it might be 40 million, just an average. So we're going to say 37 million on this. And then we're going to go back up to the top posts. And as you can see, there's 9 top posts, and you want to click on the post, and what you're looking for is the engagement on each of these posts. So quote is the hashtag. The top post, 3,457 likes, 93 comments. Go down to the next one. 15,000 likes, 714 comments. Down to the next one. 14,000 likes, 14,700 likes, and 57 comments. And so you want to go through each of these top 9 posts and get a rough average of what you're looking at. So as you can see, these top 9 posts, there will be fluctuation. As you can see there was a lot in the 14,000 range and some down in the 2,000 and 3,000 range. You want to go off of what you think is going to be average. So pretty much the higher end number, because what you're trying to do with your posts is rank there. So more often than not, you're not going to get in with the lowest number of person that's in there.
Yeah.
They're lucked out. You want to go off of what's highest. You know, unless there's just one that's super high and the rest are like around the 2,000 or 3,000 range. But you want to go off of the highest number. So what we would put on our spreadsheet is maybe something that's, 10,000 or 13,000, or maybe if we scroll down through here, we would say, okay, this one's 725, this one's 4,000, this one's 1,300. So you can see it's between the 2,000 and 3,000 range and the 10,000 and 14,000 range. So we would put, 5,000 to 7,000?
Between the middle, too. Right around there, because, again, your goal with every single hashtag is to rank at the top. So everything that ranks or shows in the hashtag research is important. The time that we're posting. So, for example, if they were posting 10 seconds ago and they have 1,000 likes, you have to get 1,000 likes in the first 10 seconds in order to rank there. So that's also another key important factor that you need to determine and see how long ago was the top 9 posts posted in order to get that engagement, because that's another determining factor.
Very, very true, and that's an excellent point to point out. So when we're looking at these, when we're determining how many likes and engagement they have, you want something that's at least 2 or 3 hours old, preferably even maybe a little bit longer than that, because if they're in the top 9 and they're only like 15 minutes old, man, I mean, you're going to have some hard competition.
Yeah.
But as you can see, this one here, 4 hours, this one here, 3 hours, 2 hours. So that's what we're working with. 2 to 4 hours is the ideal time frame. So after we determine how many likes we have and how many comments we have in the top 9 posts, we're going to spreadsheet that. We're going to put an average number of likes and an average number of comments on the spreadsheet. After that, boom, we go to the next one, the next quote, or I'm sorry, the next hashtag, right, that we're going to do. So we can see, okay, we'll look along the top here, and we might think that the next one is quotes. We want to see what quotes is.
With an S at the end, in plural. Not quote.
Not quotes. Exactly. So there's a difference. Quote and then quotes. So for this one, you can see very similar content on the top. In fact, the top couple of the top posts are the same, most likely because those people use quotes, 2 different hashtags in their posts. But you can see it's only at 32 million, not 37 million. So a little bit different style or a little bit different user amount. Not as many people are using it. But we also want to look at the engagement on this one and realize, all right, some of the ones that are the same obviously are going to have the same engagement, but there's a couple different ones. So this one has 4,000, this one's 5,000 views, 2,000, 1,700, 1,300, and look at the 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 43 minutes ago, and 58 minutes ago. So you can see very similar engagement, quote and quotes, similar users. I mean, 5 million difference on a 35 million user is not that big of a difference. So once again, we're going to put down quotes, we're going to put down the user amount, we're going to put down the amount of likes, and the amount of comments in the top 9. We don't care about these down here. Any of these posts, we don't really care what the engagement is. Because your goal is not to show up here. Just by putting the quote there, you're going to show up here. Your goal is to get in this top 9. The reason that is, in case it's not self-explanatory, is they stay there. They're pinned there until someone comes and bumps them out of the top 9. So you're going to get so much more exposure, because if some random person goes, I want to look up a cool quote today, they go here, they type into let's go back to the search bar, they type into the search bar, what's a cool quote? Quote. go to their hashtags, click on the hashtags, boom, that's where they show up. So you want to be seen visible first, right away. It's a popular hashtag, you're going to get exposure.
Yeah, and the hashtag is actually really helpful when it comes to SEO or search engine optimization on Instagram. It helps your post rank higher, but it also tells Instagram what your post is about. So you will also show up in the Explorer page in related other pages. So for example, if you're a quote account in this case, you're going to show up in the Explorer page of other people that are interested in quote pages or quote accounts. So your exposure, and you're going to be driving a lot of traffic that way. So hashtags are really, really important.
Very important, because as he was saying, who you're following or who an account is following very much determines what type of content they see in their Explorer page.
Yeah.
So if Instagram sees that someone with 500 followers, right, just a standard personal account, is following, say, 15 quote accounts, they know that they like that quote content. And so if you are consistently posting quote content and you're hashtagging for quote content, Instagram's going to see that, and most likely you have a much better chance of being featured in those people's Explorer pages.
Yeah. And
this is so important. That's why hashtagging is important, because Instagram doesn't go through and actually look at your photos, right? I mean, if you get flagged for something, they will. But they know what your content is about based on how you hashtag. So hashtagging effectively is very, very important. Okay? So once again, you would just keep going through figuring out what hashtags you're looking for. And how you're determining that is, what are your influencers and competitors using? What I like doing personally is I like making out a list of every hashtag that could possibly be related to my niche, right? And how I figure that out is I go to all my influencers, all my competitors, and I literally write down every single hashtag that they're using that's relatable to what I want to post. 100 hashtags, 200 hashtags, however many that is, make out a list of all of them, and then go through and sit down and click on each and every individual one.
Yeah.
Write down the user amounts and the likes and the comments on the top 9 posts.
Exactly. And the question that people are going to probably ask is, how do I determine which hashtags to use after I've done that?
Yeah, and we're going to get to that. I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet here so that we can see a completely filled spreadsheet of what we're looking at, and then we're going to determine what hashtags to use from there. But we're going to do that in the next lesson, all right? So hang tight, go to the next lesson. We're going to go over the spreadsheet, the full completed spreadsheet with it, on an Excel spreadsheet so that you can see that, and then we're going to be able to pick from there which hashtags we're going to use based on what the size of your account is. All right? So we'll see you in the next lesson.